Hi, this is Audrey from the Creator's Attic. I'm here today with one word. The word of the day, the word for this weekend is this. The word is play. Yes, play. That's what I'm going to do. I had this YouTube video all planned out for you guys, and then I started playing, and I was at the craft store today. And it was usually it was kind of a big deal because I have to drive a little bit to get to anywhere in any form of civilization. Not so much, but anyway, to get to Hobby Lobby. And so it was a big deal today because I was just looking through and I was thinking, I have all this stuff, and I was basically just kind of hitting up the thrift store next door. And anyway, I started thinking about what all I had at home. And sometimes we just forget that we have supplies. We don't have to have a ton of supplies to make unique things or to make different things. And sometimes those things that we make work out. We appreciate those things even more. So this is what I did. This is going to be a short video. It's 3:01 in the morning when I started, and it's about the only time I can get any peace. But I was playing, and I wanted to share this with you all, and I'll just save my larger other idea for later. Okay, so I basically have played with some trims that I had. I always keep little trims like this, and okay, so the whole moral of this story is you don't have to have a whole lot of different colors of trim if you have some other tools. Of course, I coffee dye my trims a lot. That's very popular. I've done the herbal tea stain, and all that kind of stuff, and it's really pretty. But this is a simple idea. I want to get right to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I did. First of all, you can see that this started out this color, okay? And this is a modern piece of lace. This came from a spool on Hobby Lobby. This is not vintage. And I wanted to create my own color. Now I will be honest with you, I believe it's 26 to 27 drawers of lace in my craft room, lace and trim. Okay, and I don't mean just on spools. I mean it is to the brim, like, okay. So anyway, I have tons of options, but I just wanted to play around a little bit with some things that I had, and so this is what I came up with. Okay, I wanted to use this trim, but it was too white for me. I wanted to knock it back. So as you can see, one color here is pink, has a pink tone, and this is what I started out with. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I did. I wanted kind of a vintage look, and a lot of people take their ink pads and they just, like, this is Tattered Rose, so this is a vintage pink color, okay? And you can just go over it like this, but it doesn't seem to absorb, okay? And it kind of comes off on your fingers some, and I've done that a lot, just use my ink pads. But this is what I decided to do. I decided to take just a little bit of water and my Distress ink Tattered Rose. So I was actually refilling my ink, re-inking my ink pad to use it, and I thought, I wonder what I could do with this trim. I would love a trim this color. So I put a dropper full, probably about, I don't know, I mean, probably about a dozen drops or so, about maybe half of a dropper full, into a very small amount of water. I believe I probably started with maybe 2 teaspoons in here or so, but I use this sea sponge. You could use a regular type sponge, but really wring it out and dab it on. And what I did was, I would rather, instead of putting too much ink in here, I would rather gradually add to the color I want and get to the color I want. So let me just show you quickly how I did this. And I want to play just a little bit, so hang in there with me because it's not going to be a super long video. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to put, this looks more like a science experiment. Okay, All right, yes. Okay, so I'm just going to put just a little bit of water, and I love saving these cough syrup caps. I have dozens of them. So I'm just going to do that, and I'm going to put in about half a dropper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That was probably about 12 squirts. And I'm just going to kind of stir it up with my dropper. Okay, and that looks a little bit darker than what I have here, and I think I do want to go that way. And I'm going to move this one aside because I want to try a couple of things. Okay, this is very, very, very white. Okay, this is also, and it's kind of hard to see on this, but I did want to put paper towels down. So I'm just going to dip this and then squeeze it, because a little bit of this will go a very long way, so don't feel like you're wasting your ink. Now this is Tattered Rose, and remember that when you can leave this to dry. I'm doing this in a cookie tray with some paper towels. So I'm doing this, and it is coming out a gorgeous pink color. Okay, that is a very Victorian looking pink color. Okay, that's very pretty. And you can see kind of the okay, vintage, but I still have, look at all this I have left. You can put a little piece of saran and a rubber band on this and store it for ages. Okay, so all right, I want to try something a little bit different. This time I want to try putting a little bit of water in here, and I wanted to see what I'm just going to use. I'm going to use, I hate to, well, you know what? I'm just going to use the water that I had. It just has about, this was my other water that I mixed before the video. And I wanted just to see if I just put this like 1 or 2 drops of brown distress ink, or actually that was like one good one, maybe 1 or 2. That's the Gathered Twigs. I wanted to see if I could get kind of a pink, brown, pinkish, even more of a vintage color in there. So I'm going to use my finger to swirl that around, and that's, I can already see that that's going to look a lot like coffee. So I'm going to hit it with a little bit more. Maybe I want to pour, okay, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to pour like part of this water out, and I'm going to put a little bit more water in. Okay, maybe that was a little bit more than I wanted to. Okay, and then I'm going to put in, because the Tattered Rose is light, I'm going to put in more Tattered Rose. Okay, let's see. Goodness, this just seems too dark, doesn't it? Add a little bit more water to that. All right, that was only like 1 or 2 drops. So you have to, depending on the darkness, I think, of the color as well. All right, now this is Tattered Rose. I'm going to put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'll squirt in more, a little few more. Okay. All right, now I feel like I'm doing science experiments with my kids. I'm a former elementary school teacher, and yeah, we did science experiments. My kids always love doing hands-on experiments, so I feel like I'm kind of doing one of those in my craft room. Okay, let's see what I have with this one. Oh, okay. Now this is a beautiful effect I'm getting, because now I'm getting almost like a dusty rose color, as you can see. Okay. That is gorgeous. Okay, so I have the regular color in the middle. I have this mixture of dyes, and just think, if you have the re-inkers, you can do this with any colors, and you can also mix and try different colors. This one has a pinkish tinge to it. You could see the white we started with, and this was the Tattered Rose. Okay, so this is a wonderful, and because I used the sponge, you can kind of see the difference in the colors here. Because I used the sponge, I didn't saturate this, so it will dry quickly. Or you can set it aside and hit it with your heat gun, and it will dry fairly quickly. Okay, but I'm going to, for time's sake, I'm going to finish drying this later, because I am going to use this maybe in my tomorrow's video or something like that. Okay, I have this piece of crocheted type. This is like a synthetic, I believe, or machine-made crochet. But I just want to get a little bit here. Let me change this for background. Let me change like this. Okay. This time, I think I'm going to, you can, okay, wait, let me go back before I keep going. I will just keep going. You can hit it with your heat gun. I would suggest dabbing it with paper towels. But this, using a sponge keeps it you from getting it too wet so it will dry faster. So that's just that idea. Okay, so basically I just want to try with one more here, just for fun. I'm going to put this over in here and think you can have any color. You can start with white and have any color that you want, and you will have you know, I mean, you could start with a white piece of trim and you will have pretty much whatever color you want if you have that color of the re-inkers, the Distress Ink re-inkers. I have one more color I want to try real quick, and I just want to try it with you. Let's see. I'll be right back. Okay, I really want to try this with, I've got a little thing of water here. I really want to try on this piece, seeing what my rustic wilderness would look like, because it is coming up on spring and summer, and actually even it's closing in on St. Patty's Day, and I'm really starting to pull. I'm already started my spring journal. I'll be honest with you. I started my spring journal weeks ago. Okay, I have not opened this re-inker apparently. I don't have a lot of re-inkers because I have so many ink pads, but now it's like I found another use for my re-inkers, so here we go. All right, let's see. These things, they just do, it's like they do not want you to get into them. Okay, I'm just gonna take this cap off, and I'm just gonna put one or two drops because this is a darker color. Oh, okay, I may even need less. That was one drop, and look how colored the water already is. Okay, so I'm just going to start with one drop. Okay, one drop of re-inker. Okay, one drop of this re-inker was all that I used. So talking about saving a good bang for your buck. Okay, this is like an off-white, like an ivory colored piece of trim. So I'm just going to see what that will look like. Okay, that kind of looks, all right, it is turning it green. I think I want to try for a little bit more intense green. That kind of reminds me of lime jello. Okay, so let's put 2 more drops in there. And let's see what happens. Maybe I may want to knock this back, or not knock it back, sorry. I may want to make this even more. Let's try this side. Maybe make it a little bit more vintage looking by putting in a drop of Vintage Photo. So if you want to get out some of your trim and try this out with me and just have fun, it's drying fairly quickly. Okay, so I have a greenish color here, and I could keep going. I could put a few more drops of the re-inker, or actually just a little bit more of that. And wow, I see now that's a pretty green. So I got a really nice shade of green here. I really like that. Okay, that no longer looks like lime jello. Okay, so that's pretty. I like that. Okay, I suppose that you could, like you do coffee, ball these up and put them down in the water, but then they would absorb all the water, and you wouldn't have nearly. Let's see. I could probably do this and ball it up like this and make it stretch even further. Oh, I was wondering why it was coming out a weird color, because I totally did put it in the wrong one. Okay, and backing up. Okay. All right, so let's try this. I'm just playing, and I'm about to turn the video off and end it. You get the point. Okay, let's see how pretty that is. It's just very pretty, and you can let it dry alone, or you can hit it with your heat gun. But you can change anything. Let me show you these other ones that we did. You can change any color lace, just buy white or off-white or whatever. Get that crocheted stuff that they have at the Dollar Tree. It's, you know, they have this same stuff. You can find it at any Dollar Tree. It's like a crocheted and it's about this wide. You know, get a roll of that if you're just starting out, and just play with your dies and your echers and things. And just try the different ones. Antique linen is also, well, you smell a lot more than that. Okay. Antique linen is also a fabulous color to have in your back pocket, because that will knock off any white color to a very pretty anywhere. And you can anywhere you could mix a couple of things with the antique linen with the gathered twigs or vintage photo or something, and get a nice ecru color. Okay, but this does it pretty evenly. And so anyway, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to show you a simple idea that I was playing around with. My word for the day. What was the word for the day? I'm not sure if you remember, class, but the word for the day was play. So go play. Have a great time. Have a great weekend. I'll see you soon. Thanks, and don't forget to check out my Etsy store, The Creator's Attic. Have a great one. Bye-bye.